Alright, hello. How's everybody doing today? As per usual on Thursdays, except for last week because of it being a holiday, I'm with you today, Richie Thompson, also known as Richie T. And how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty well. Been taking it a little easy with Magic because of the holidays recently, but I'm still here to stream for you guys and give you good quality content. And what am I streaming for you guys today? Well, today I'm streaming a deck that a pro Magic player who I'm pretty good acquaintances with. I've talked to him a lot about the deck, and he's wrote several articles on it. Kyle Bogamus. Uh, I'm playing a deck he's been playing in Modern a lot recently, and I kind of decided to give a try. And I refer to the deck as Once Upon a Druid. So let's go ahead and get into the deck. So for the mana base, we have 4 Windswept Heaths. Oh, let me go ahead and turn those sounds off for you, my bad. We got 4 Windswept Heaths, 3 Flooded Strands for our fetches. We got 2 Temple Gardens, a Breeding Pool, a Hollowed Fountain, 2 Snow-Covered Forests, a Snow-Covered Plains, 3 Razorverge Thickets, a Botanical Sanctum, and a Horizon Canopy to complete our mana base. Now, of course, to go with a mana base, we got some mana dorks in the deck. In 4 Noble Hierarchs and a Birds of Paradise to try to get us a little bit of extra ramp. So that way, when we cast our tutors to try to find our creatures, we also have mana to play them following them up. Now, the tutors we're playing in this deck are 4 Eladamri's Call, because this is just one of the best tutors for mana costs when it comes to trying to find creatures, thanks to Modern Horizons. 4 Finale of Devastation, as this card can both be a tutor but also a win condition, and getting things back from the graveyard can be super relevant with some of our one-ofs. And then the newest addition to this deck, which is what really I think put it above where it used to be, which is Once Upon a Time. Having a free look at the top 5 for a land or a mana dork or a combo piece is really powerful, and it just really helps the consistency of this deck out a lot. So now, what is the combo? Well, the combo is the Druid half of it, which is Devoted Druid, everybody knows. A green and a colorless for an 0-2 that taps for a green, but you can put a -1/-1 counter on it to untap it. So generally this means you can get 2 mana out of it one turn, and then it is basically a -1 negative, or a -1/1, and will die if you ever try to make 2 mana again. But with a card printed in Amonkhet, Vizier of Remedies, a 1 white, 1 colorless, 2/1, it makes it so Devoted Druid can add infinite green mana into your mana pool, because if it were to get a -1/-1 counter, it's 1 less. So you make infinite green mana, and then what do you do with that infinite green mana? Well, you can either Finale of Devastation for infinite to kill your opponent with a big hasty creature, or you have Eternal Witnesses to pick up your tutors. You can Ranger Captain of Eos to go get a Walking Ballista, make an infinite Walking Ballista and shoot your opponent. You can Duskwatch Recruiter to find your Walking Ballista / Ranger Captain of Eos. Or you can use Shalai to put infinite +1/+1/+1 counters on your team, and also have your board be hexproof. So that's kind of the combo part of the deck. But the deck also has a few extra slots for just value cards in it. And 4 Giver of Runes, as this card is just very good at protecting your combo. A Deputy of Detention as a removal spell that you can tutor up. A couple Teferis to help protect your combo, as well as reset things like Deputy of Detention, or maybe a Devoted Druid that you had to put a counter on, or even just getting some extra value off like your Eternal Witness or Ranger Captain of Eos. A couple Okos for the grind game. You can just start turning things into elk, making some food to gain life, or exchanging permanents. And then a Jace Vryn's Prodigy to try to hit any of our tutors that we want. So that's the main deck. Going on to the sideboard, we have 3 Veil of Summers to try to push through those counter spells or heavy removal decks. A couple Burrington Forge Tenders for the burn matchups. A couple Unified Wills for a couple counter spells in the matchups where we need those. Some Paths for bigger creatures. 2 Collector Oofs as Stony Silences we can find off our tutors. A Gaddock Teague to shut down combo and Tron. and then an extra Teferi and Oko for when we need to help grind a little more. So that's the deck. But as per usual, before we hop into games, I want to hop over to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com and tell you guys to buy your Magic cards here. If you're looking for snow-covered basics for Modern or Haship Oasis for Pioneer, momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com has you covered. On top of that, if you're watching on YouTube in the future, check down that description box below for all the links I'm going to be talking about, but also try to tune in live to our Twitch sometimes. We'd love to have you. If you're watching live on Twitch or on YouTube in the future, thank you. But try to give us a follow on our Facebook page. Give us a follow on Twitter at MomsBasementGames. Or just hop back over to our YouTube page to watch the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, pauper, and pioneer content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's at RichardTMTG. I talk magic, memes, League of Legends, music, anything else you want to talk about, I'm always willing to talk there. On top of that, I wanted to give a shout out to Kyle for being the one to influence me to play this deck. He's wrote a lot of articles on Cool Stuff Inc. about it. I believe he's written 3. And there is some changes to the list I'm playing to his most recent list that he would recommend. So make sure you check out at Bogamus Memes on Twitter. On top of that, if you're looking for any other forms of social media, you can find Mom's Basement Games on Instagram at Mom's Basement Games, or you can find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. But with that, how about we get ourselves into some games with Devoted. How's everybody doing? What's everyone's plans for the weekend? Me, I don't really have anything planned. Probably just play some Magic, maybe hang out. Might try to get some Pioneer in this weekend. So this hand is a turn 4 kill, but it has a lot of protection in it as well, with the Eternal Witnesses, and just we Eladamri's Call for Devoted Druid, and then we get the Vizier, so I think this hand's a keep. This is my first time playing this deck, mind you. Just want to leave that out there. Ooh, our opponent mulliganed down to 4. That's a yikes. Good sign for us, bad sign for the opponent. So I think we're going to go Windswept Heath Pass, and then just plan to get a Temple Garden. There is a chance we just die. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Looks like Grixis Death Shadow, maybe? We're gonna go ahead and get ourselves this tapped here. Once Upon a Time is a pretty good draw, because we can just go ahead and cast that here. And we happen to find a Devoted Druid, so that worked out pretty well. It means we can win next turn if our opponent doesn't have anything. Even if they do, we have a lot of recursion in our hand. Yep, looks like Grixis Death Shadow. Probably had some pretty bad hands, unfortunately. Death Shadow typically doesn't mulligan that hard in my experience. Although they might be the 4-color version, so maybe their mana base is a little awkward sometimes. Alright, they're getting their Death Shadow on. This is a pretty bad matchup, I would assume. Let's see, what's the best way to try to win? I don't think we can set it up for next turn. So I think it's just shot, play Eternal Witness, and then pick up Devoted Druid. Opponent goes ahead and thought seizes us. That's kind of unfortunate. Hopefully we can draw a land next turn. Opponent seems to be in the tank. Interesting. They take the Eternal Witness. That means they probably guarantee have a removal spell. I think I'm fine taking 3. We'll run out our Druid still. Yep. Once upon a time, there was a street. I think we're supposed to block here. Kind of an awkward land drop here. Hopefully they're out of removal and they just die next turn. We will not be blocking. We're going to float some green here. Let the trophy resolve. Go and search for a Plains. Aldamri's Call. Grab a Devoted Druid. This is like a cold land. Alright, hopefully, that was not a good top deck, unfortunately. We got him to Turok. Wow, our opponent's draw was very good. But like I said, I also think this is a pretty bad matchup for us. Yeah, we're dead. I think we had a really good hand for fighting against that, but I think our draw just didn't quite line up correctly. Forge Tender doesn't seem great here. Veil of Summer doesn't seem that bad. I think we can trim the extra mana dork as they just kind of die. I don't know that we're actually going to have more creatures than them all the time. Gaddock Teague doesn't really do anything. Deputy doesn't really do enough. There's a chance Ballista can just kill them on his own. They're really threat light, but maybe this still isn't a path matchup with Traverse. Oh, this definitely isn't a Collector Oof match. I think Oko and Teferi do a good enough job. Teferi actually isn't that great here. Oko seems really good though. Death Shadow is a lot less scary as a 3/3. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and try it like this. I would like to be on the play. Man, if this hand could cast Giver of Runes or had a mana dork, I think this hand would be a keep. But I think it's a little too inconsistent, so we're gonna mull. I mean, we have the better poker hand, but I don't want to mulligan again. So we'll put a Vizier on bottom. Probably just get a Hollowed Fountain here with this Windswept Heath. Opponent's gonna tell us a story. We'll go ahead and grab Hollowed Fountain. Okay. So we have the combo, but no payoff now. Run in 6. That card's really good against us. End of turn, Aladomri's Call. I think we just grab the Druid. Nothing else really does much either. Okay. I feel like it's pretty unlikely they kept a hand that does nothing against the Devoted Druid. Yeah, Brutality. Brutality, pretty bad against this hand as it whiffs. Yikes. Really needed a third land for this hand to work, unfortunately. Opponent goes ahead and 5/6 Tarmogoyf. That's funny. We put the third one to the bottom, but because we searched our deck, it went back on top. Guess we'll play a Vizier and pass. Pretty sure we're not winning this one. It's a bad matchup, and we kind of got buried by not drawing our third land ever. I will discard another Vizier. Shocks, plays a Death Shadow. We take 5. No, we don't take 5. Alright. Let's start. We'll go ahead and get the forest. Make Goyf into an elk. Pass the turn. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith. Both at Ogo. I will block Death Shadow. Opponent shocks again. That card's generally pretty bad, but it's actually seemed pretty impressive in this deck. Right on time, Veil of Summer. We will make a Death Shadow into an elk. I should have veiled that, technically. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can draw to get out of this one. This is, that's like probably the worst matchup I could think of for this deck. Especially with him playing that Whispers card. That card's typically it doesn't see a lot of play because it's really hard to enable. And by the time you enable it, a lot of the time people won't have cards in hand, but they made it work, so. It definitely beat us game 1. Waiting in queue to try to find another opponent here. Yeah, I think any like heavy removal deck is going to be kind of a tough matchup. Like Death Shadow in particular is going to be really rough for the fact that they they not only have a lot of removal, but they also have a really fast clock. GLHF opponent. So we're on the draw, and we need one land in like 2 draw steps. But the payoff if we draw a land is we win the game. So I actually think this is a keep. Uh-oh. Oh, we did it. Alright, well that's a good start. Let's go ahead and play the Hallowed Fountain tapped. And then we will discard... Man, I really don't want to give away what we're doing. I think it just like doesn't matter if I give away what we're doing. Yeah, I think it just doesn't matter because like I just can't afford to discard this extra land. Eidolon opponent. Okay, Oko's really good in this matchup. We are going to take a bit of damage here, but the payoff is if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell, they die. Scratch that. Well, they only have 1 card in hand. So if I play Devoted Druid, I die to any spell. 7. I guess that's true with anything in our hand. Devoted Druid just has the upside of winning us the game if they don't have it. Oko doesn't do anything here. If I Oko, I just end up dying because I go to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. It puts me in the same spot, but Oko doesn't set up to win the game on the next turn. I think it's correct to Druid and just hope they don't have a burn spell. I guess they had the Rift Bolt. So actually, we were just dead anyway you looked at it. Yeah, we're just dead. I know Kyle said Burn is also one of the rougher matchups for the deck. So, kind of doing the modern thing where like you just kind of run into some bad matchups from time to time. Teague doesn't do a whole lot. Teferi doesn't do much. Deputy doesn't seem very good. What other 2 cards do we take out? I know in Kyle's new list he has 4 Oko, which I can probably see. Oko's just really good. Helps a lot of the bad matchups. We probably only want like 1 path here. I actually don't even know if we want path. I think Teferi might... no, I like path more than Teferi. What do you think I take out for the path, son? We can trim a Vizier. And probably a Devoted Druid. Maybe not a Druid. Maybe we just trim like an Eldamri's Call. Yeah. I think we're gonna try this. I think this hand's just too slow against burn. If this hand had a land, this hand would actually be like the nuts in this matchup. Giver's really good. We have Path, we have Devoted Druid, Noble. But the fact that we don't have a land... Yeah. This has like been my problem with decks like this, in my opinion. I mean, we just kind of have to keep this. Oh, that was a mistake, actually. I should have played the Flooded Strand so that way I could fetch a basic forest. Suspend. Well, we have a plan. Maybe he messes up with where he puts the Riftbolt. Deal. Probably means a Searing Blaze is coming down. Yep. Well, I know what we're pathing. think we're gonna go ahead and Eldamri's Call into turn. Get a Devoted Druid. Yeah, it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't for this stupid Phyrexian Revoker. Helix to me, Boros Charm. Yep. Yeah, like I think any Death Shadow variant, but especially Jund and Burn are probably like the two worst matchups ever for this deck. Well, we will attempt to path. Okay, that just resolves. Don't really think it's a blowout. I don't think I want to go like all in on these. We'll play Devoted Druid and hope to be able to win the game before we die. It's just skewer. Yep. Yeah, I mean, kind of rough matchups. This deck's really good into a lot of the linear decks that are pretty popular in Modern right now, like Storm, the Urza deck, Tron. Yeah, I don't even think a third land would have really, like, Oko would have been okay. I don't think it would have, like, helped us that much. Really needed to not have that Revoker happen, because I wouldn't have had to have played so safe. GLHF opponent. And this is just kind of like the thing with this deck is like sometimes that happens. Like the deck is not built to beat removal heavy decks. Yeah, it's really fortunate you didn't end up picking up Stone Forges. The Once Upon a Time just made this deck like so much more consistent. Colony Garden. So we're against Amulet. Now this is a matchup I think that's actually pretty good for us. So what if we give her birds here instead of tutoring? I think that's worse. So give her bird is this turn. Tutor is next turn. Druid Tutor for yeah, it's like an extra turn. So I still have all to get the Okos and Simic lands. Yeah, and unfortunately, like Simic is not cheap when it comes to lands. I think it might have gone down with like the Oko bannings in modern at least, or in standard at least. Okos are still expensive, unfortunately. Shocks at Temple Garden? Interesting. Utopia Sprawl. Well, I thought this was Amulet, and now I just have no idea. I'm not I'm not sure what onces are now that. Weird. I'm not entirely sure what onces price is now that it's banned in both Pioneer and Standard. Go ahead and grab a Druid. Shot. Play Druid. And I think we just go ahead and play Bird too. So that way we have more mana if they have a way to interrupt our combo. Okay, that's not bad. They've dropped like $5 then. At least they were 15s last I knew. That's what they were when I picked them up. Inkmoth Nexus? Man, whatever spicy meatball our opponent's on, it's very spicy. We don't have a way to win yet, but we have an extra draw with Teferi if needed. Opponent tries to figure out what they can do. Last I saw, they were like 20. Holy crap. That must have been like... Okay, I see what we're facing now. We're facing the Polymorph deck. That's hilarious. So essentially their plan is to make a token or an Inkmoth Nexus into an Embercruel. But they used Polymorph on our Devoted Druid because they were gonna die. And we ended up hitting Eternal Witness, which is actually really good because we can, if we get to combo, we get to Witness, or we get to Teferi, bounce our Witness, get Eldamri's Call. We're gonna go ahead and just play 2 Druids here. Oh, I should have attacked there. That was just kind of me not thinking about the Eternal Witness entering on their turn. Yeah, exactly. Teferi can grab Call and win. Or Eternal Witness can grab Call and win. Not Teferi. Alright, what you got, opponent? Animate Inkmoth. Pump it up. We take 2 Infect. And they pass, okay. So white, green, Vizier. Remand. Sure. So white, green, Vizier. Make a green, blue, white. We don't win here, unfortunately, unless we draw something. Eternal Witness. Oh, okay. Or if our opponent just concedes, we win. So we're against Polymorph. Burrington doesn't seem great. You can't path an Emrakul. Veil of Summer's interesting for if they try to polymorph us. I was saving our white sources. I had to use both of them for Viziers. Yeah, we didn't have an actual win con there. Don't really think we want to grind out with Jace. Unified Will seems good. Collector Oof doesn't really do anything. Gaddock Teague does stop their combo. Deputy is a way to answer Emrakul. We run Walking Ballista, but we had no way to get Walking Ballista. Teferi and Oko seem very good. I wonder if the Veil might just be too cute. Like, I think we win by racing them for the most part anyways. I think we can trim a Giver. I don't expect them to have a lot of removal. Maybe this is even just like a Giver out matchup. We're just supposed to like try to combo them. Teferi and Oko disrupt their combo by bouncing whatever they put into play. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and try this. We've had a lot of no-land hands today. Wonder how many times this happens to Kyle. Maybe the deck wants a 20th land. Yeah, I mean, this hand is a turn 3 kill. Keep, puts, Unified Will can be good. So can Ranger. Hey, thanks Gano for the raid of 5. I appreciate it, man. I think we're gonna put the Unified Will on bottom, but I can see that being incorrect. For everyone tuning in from the raid, thank you. Later today we will be doing a giveaway for a playset of Jace Vryn's Prodigies. We do monthly giveaways, so unfortunately you guys won't be in this giveaway, but you can be in the next giveaway. As we do a giveaway every month here on Mom's Basement Games / Mom's Basement Streams. Yeah, Ranger might have been the safer ditch, actually. I could see that. Ooh, wrong thing. Let's get back to that gameplay. pass the turn back to us. We'll go ahead and play a Razor Virgin Paths. Opponent seems to really like to stop. How about encounter? Secured it. Ranger seems a bit slow. Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think the Ranger was probably the correct call. I think I was thinking a little too much into wanting to have protection when I don't really need it here. We drew another Ranger here. Oh. My bad. I never switched it back over for you guys. That's goofy of me. They shocked, which was interesting. But we're going to go ahead and play the Druid anyways, I think. Or no, this isn't a turn 3 win. This is a turn 4 win. Because we have to... It's turn 3 if we draw a land. Growth Spiral, end of turn. Interesting. Fetches. Opponent paths, which is pretty unfortunate. I think it was on my end though. Refreshed and now it works. Yeah, that's actually super weird. I don't know why you couldn't use it here. Well, we have our land now. I think this game did not go out the way we wanted it to. But our opponent doesn't seem to be doing much, so we shall see. Bop. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play bird here. Pass it on back. Then we can go ahead and Eldamri's Call for Druid. Opponent bounces our bird. Okay. I guess that's reasoning to play the call on our turn. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna get Emerald. Elishnorn. That's just about as bad, actually. Our opponent is playing Force of Negation. sure if we have anything to beat this Elashnorn, but let's take a look. We need to draw an Oko. Go ahead and grab a Noble. I guess seeing Path post board Proteus Staff, which is another polymorph. Seeing Path into Fairy kind of makes me want to bring Giver in. Weird. Why did they bounce our bird? I guess it like plays around us having a counter spell. But we had the same amount of creatures? I don't actually get the bouncing the bird if you're gonna polymorph. What does the land do, out of curiosity? Go ahead and grab another Noble, just to try to make it more likely that we can draw an Oko. If we ever draw an Oko, we're like back in this game. Yeah, I guess not really. They can just cast it. They have to bounce it with Teferi. What can we Eldamri's for? Deputy. Okay. We'll go ahead and discard a Noble here. I think we're actually going to go ahead and chump here. Well, actually, no, we can kill Teferi. Yeah, we'll take this. Cast Deputy. Deputy the Elashnorn. Go to combat. Attack down the Teferi. Elashnorn is a beating. We will definitely be bringing Path in now that we've seen that. Yeah, I just like don't think we're winning that game after they get to kill one of our dudes and keep their Teferi alive. Let's see. What can we trim here? We can probably trim a Vizier. Although we kind of want to try to combo him as fast as we can. I guess that's a little less true with Path. I like Ranger for getting Ballista, but Ranger does seem kind of weak without Giver. I mean, it's just like extra copies of Ballista to combo. But I agree, I think it's probably like the weakest card. Huh. Maybe it is right to just... Maybe we just trim like the Dusk Watch. I don't really know that we have a lot of time. But then we might be trimming too much on like combo pieces. I like that Shalai gives our druids hexproof from Polymorph. Plus it's something that doesn't die to Eleshnorn. I think seeing Eleshnorn instead of Oko, I might actually want to trim a Teferi, since they're also a ramp deck. Yeah, we're going to try trimming a Teferi too. Man, another no-lander. Okay. This hand's pretty solid. We put back the Dusk Watch. Yeah. Go ahead and once. Ooh, that was not the best. We will go ahead and set shock off a breeding pool. Tap into opponent. Play Flooded Strain and pass. Yeah, we'll get him for one. Our life total isn't super relevant in this matchup, but I feel like theirs is more relevant than ours. We can also just like get a planes with this actually. Sure. Yeah, I think mana is less of a problem, so I can buy that. Devoted Druid. I think I'm fine with this actually. Hopefully they don't just have a removal spell, but not much we can do if they do. I assumed our opponent was more of a combo deck, but They've actually had a lot of interaction, surprisingly. Yeah, we'll get them. So now we call for Druid. Do they have the force here? Do we just grab Shalai, maybe? No, we have protection for Druid with Unified Will. So now, if we find something to put our mana into, we win. Eternal Witness also wins. I would like to say no to your Teferi. Colony Garden for land. That's unfortunate. Do we just... I guess we just wait. Oh, we have a redraw, actually. Crap. Yeah, I seen it, like, right after I clicked to go to combat, unfortunately. Use green. Okay, not punished, thankfully. I know now post combat. It was a mistake, I'll admit it. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. Controller reveals cards in the top until they reveal a creature card. Okay, so they're just gonna do this on our Druid. Half. Now we hopefully draw a way to win. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Stupid force. Now we're just gonna lose to an Elesh Norn. One, two, three. I guess we have to take their staff off the battlefield. That's really unfortunate because that puts us really far behind from comboing. But hopefully they just like don't have anything going on. And the race is on. Hiya. This land to make my opponent think a little bit. Getting in with the old ink moth. The classic infect or normal damage. Typically it's infect. Rip. This has been quite the unfortunate league. Yeah, and I think what this really shows is decks like these are always like really good in specific metagames of Modern. So when you are going to be facing a lot of like I actually think this is probably a good matchup. Our opponent just had a lot of interaction in their deck, surprisingly. But like when you expect a lot of like Urza, a lot of Infect, a lot of Tron, things in that nature, that's when this style of deck can really shine. But when you are facing a lot of, you know, Death Shadow, Burn, Jund, anything along those varieties, that's when this deck is actually very poor in the meta. Yeah. Can't win. Yeah, rough league. Just kind of got beat up on. I think this deck is pretty well positioned in Modern right now. And I'm sure that there's some things I probably did wrong. Kyle's list is a little different that he's recently wrote an article about. I know like the Jace became an Oath of Nissa. The lands changed a little bit. And there was one other change. One of the Ranger captains became another Duskwatch. And he added a fourth path to the sideboard and a second Gaddock Teague with Teferi. So those are some changes to think about that Kyle recommended. Yeah, so that's about all I really have to say with this deck. I'm going to go ahead and take about a 5-minute break to get the giveaway set up, and then I will return. So I will see you guys shortly. Alright, and we are back. Sorry about that short delay while I set this up. Uh, Again, I just kind of am getting used to streaming from home instead of Josh's now. But we will get it taken care of, I promise. So, as I mentioned at the start, we are doing a giveaway for the playset of Jace Vryn's Prodigies. And the way I like to do the giveaway is I like to have a little bit of fun with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to randomize this 3 times. And the first 2 names, sadly, are not going to be the winners of the giveaway. But the third person will be the person that we will get a hold of and will be given the playset of Jace Vryn's Prodigies. But before I do that, as per usual, I do want to hop back over to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com and tell you guys to make sure you buy your singles from here. If you're looking for any of the snowlands or any deserts like Haship Oasis for any format, momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com has you covered. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, thank you. Check down in the description box below for everything I'm going to be talking about. But also try to tune in live to our Twitch sometimes. It's always a really good time. Like we had with Freeze and Captain Croc today, for example. On top of that, if you are watching live right now or on YouTube in the future, either way, make sure you hop over to our Facebook page, give us a like, follow us on Twitter at MomsBasementMTG, and also check out our YouTube channel for the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, and pauper and pioneer content now. Almost forgot about the best new format. On top of that, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's at RichardTMTG. I talk magic, memes, League of Legends, music, anything else you want to talk about, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm always willing to chat. On top of that, the person who this deck came from, his name is Kyle Bogamus. He is a pro Magic player from the Michigan scene. I've known him for a while now. Kyle's a great guy, very smart, really good deck builder, and you guys should definitely check him out on Twitter and also his Cool Stuff Inc. articles he writes. His Twitter handle is Bogamemes. If you're looking for any other forms of social media, you can find Mom's Basement Games on Instagram at Mom's Basement Games, or you can find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. But with that, how about we do some giveaways? Do we want a drum roll? I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but not now. Arc 4N11, congratulations, you are the first non-winner of the giveaway. Better luck in our future giveaways. Number 2 is Dublin 29. You are also not a winner, unfortunately, but better luck in our future giveaways. And last but certainly not least, the winner of the playset of Jace Vryn's Prodigies is Samuel Dreyer, who is also our Patreon. So thank you, Sam. I will make sure to have Mom's Basement Games get a hold of you and get you those playset of Jace Vryn's Prodigies. But with that, guys, I'm going to be heading off. I hope you all have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend, and just a wonderful time in general. Have a great night.